Hello and welcome back to the second session of Suzerain. I hope you're having an amazing day. Let's get on with it. Read the report. All workers commemorate closing field. Yep, so we're going to lose some of that fine energy supply. We need some more of that, most definitely. Are there any other reports? I think that's it, actually. By the looks of it. Let's continue. Haha, Pales, we're going to take you. Pales will be ours. One moment, sorry. I'm having loads of pop-ups appear because it's acting like I've never used it before, if that makes sense. Streamlabs, it's really odd. I don't know what this issue is. Cool. Sanctuary expansion, anti-narcotics operation. We're doing some bits. Council meeting on foreign relations. I think armed forces we just recruited last session, so we have a more sizable military. Royal decrees, obviously we have a lot we can do with that. Not this turn, mine, or not yet anyway. Council meetings on foreign relations. The day of my foreign policy council meeting had arrived, and it was a hot one. The fans in Palace Resna provided little relief. I decided to take in some fresh air in the palace gardens. Pavel had hired a new groundskeeper who faithfully maintained his father's arrangements. Before he was my butler, my friend had explained to me that the plants and flowers here were laid out geographically, Riken ferns in the east, Zinnan lilies in the south, to a Rumberg-style rose garden in the north. To the west was a labyrinthine hedge maze made of laurels donated from the kingdom of Narberg. I spent a while wandering around, then returned to the middle of the garden, where a series of stone sculptures were surrounded by Rizian palms and succulents. To my left, I saw Vina reading a book on a bench beneath a decorative stone arch. In a date palm grove to my right, I caught a glimpse of my mother. Talk to Vina, talk to my daughter first. Made my way to the stone arch and sat down next to my daughter. Oh, hello, father. See you outside the council chambers. Do you have any questions about the past few meetings? I bet you wish you'd never come to my meetings, right? So everyone got you made me feel uncomfortable the other day. Good to see you outside the council chambers. Do you have any questions about the meetings? Pardon me? I have plenty, but I'll figure them out in my own time. I like it. This must be overwhelming for you as well. So many decisions to make. Don't worry about me. You keep focusing on keeping your own head above water. Quite rude. It's overwhelming at times, but I trust the council to help me decide. It's overwhelming at times, but I trust the council to help me decide. I can't imagine how it feels to hold all that power. What do you think of the House of Delegates? Will you go talk to them? Of course I will. With the best hope we have for giving Rizians an actual vote, a voice, take their opinions into consideration, but I'm the one with the final say. The only reason that is weakness. Might, but I don't think it's due to my friend Mr. Sazon. No. Best voice of the people. Any good monarch listens to the will of the people. Queen Liza always said that. Good monarch listens, a great monarch acts. And if that the will of the public is to be no monarch at all, what then? Be interested, let's put that to her. If you rule as well as she did, that won't ever become a problem. The clock chimed in the distance. It's time for the meeting. Lead the way, Your Highness. As Vina and I walked into the council chambers, we found the other councillors already there, deep in conversation. A superpower suddenly taken an interest in this part of the continent. What's next? All of our children will have to learn Arcasian. Greetings, Storm, my friend. Thank you. My squire. One of the peasants. Sorry, stop. I couldn't help it. How are you, my friend? How are you? Hope you're doing well. The decision wasn't made with any ill intent towards Rizia. There are greater global forces at work than what's happening in our corner of South Marcopa. What the superpowers decide affects us, Mr. Squibble. Their intent is of no importance. So a council meeting without me? Okay, for that take more revolution. I did ask for that. 1 minute, I just realised I didn't set up my webcam before I started. Oh no, oh no. Oh no, there we go. Oh no. That's 3 gulps. 1. Let's flashback my 2. 3. Oh, throw 1 extra. thought, oh god, Storm, what have you done to me? What have you done? I brought it upon myself. No! Thank you. The three of them noticed me and fell silent. Excuse us, Your Majesty. We're just discussing the recent news concerning Lesbia's membership in the ATO. Oh my god, that's it. You call me a peasant after remaking your server, how dare you? But that, technically, is a peasantry way. As a noble, you know... I'm playing, Storm. You made me drown. Made me drown. But how are you today, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Sorry, I realise my outfit's all fuddled. As a king, I cannot allow that. Mr. Scribble, there's nothing to worry about. Duchess Rizia should be very concerned. We don't know anything about the situation yet. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Reasonable response, Your Majesty. Respectfully, Your Grace, there's nothing reasonable about allowing Arcadia and its puppets to spread instability across the globe. What would you have us do, Duchess Rizia? We're on shaky enough ground with Lesbia as it is. Of course we should act sensibly, but we need to show the Republic and its friends that Rizia can hold its own. Miss Werner, will this new alliance have economic consequences? Lorento, Warwick relationship with Lesbia. Hugo, this development pose a threat to the Rizian monarchy. Duchess Rizia. What security implications? What security implications? You can definitely expect the Arcadia military to increase their presence in Lesbia. Lesbia already houses Arcadia military personnel. Air and naval bases cannot be far behind. I can't say for certain that all that firepower will be directed against us in case of a conflict, but it does enhance the threat that Lesbia, and yes, potentially Pales, poses to our kingdom. What's our current relationship with Lesbia? I'd characterise them as neutral but frosty, Your Majesty. Queen Liza's diplomacy kept us on good terms with Lesbia for a time after their transition to democracy, but things were beginning to sour even before the Pales conflict. We still maintain embassies in each other's countries, but I haven't met with their foreign ministry since before the election of the new Prime Minister, Alvarez. What will the economic consequences be? I'm sure it will, Your Majesty. Our most significant economic relationship with Lesbia is our partnership in the Meftium International Trade Zone. Having Arcadia behind them might well embolden Lesbia to push for a larger share in the mix, but they would also have Bugsland and Morella to contend with. Lesbia using Arcadia's backing to strengthen its economic ties with Pales could also have negative ramifications, especially when it comes to the new gas field. That's threatened Rizian monarchy. Not an immediate one, Your Majesty, but we must be watchful. I've seen Arcadian-backed revolutions succeed in Rika and Xena, and we do suspect the Sazons were communicating with Arcadia prior to the 1926 uprising. Quinar's ATO membership was already cause for concern 5 years ago, with Lesbia in the alliance as well. Arcadia's influence is present to both our north and our south. There's great potential for destabilisation. On the other hand, Your Grace, Arcadia has friendly ties with at least one monarchy. You may recall that President Dwight Walker actually boasts from Burgian heritage. Sorry, my nose is really itchy. Alright, what do you think I should do? Everybody began talking at once. Hugo motioned for silence. In my view, Rizia should bolster our alliances with our fellow monarchies like Rumburg and the rest of the Guild of Royal Alliances of Commercial Exchange. Never trust Lesbia with anything. I think we can trust Rumburg-ish with this one, right? Because we are with allies in this one. Building stronger bonds with them will not only enrich us, it will counterbalance ATO's democratic influence. That is true. This is true. But we can't rely on Grace to come to our aid in a conflict. For that, we will need to build up our military and defensive capabilities. I'd say it's more crucial to form new trade relationships with our neighbours. If Lesbia becomes even more of an economic juggernaut in our region, it'll upset the balance of power. I'm not sure if I'm reforming this one, to be honest. I want to do well by it, but I want to still be in charge. Remember I was going to say, I think this one, reform was more our Suzerain normal one, like Sordland, but for Rizia, we've got different plans. And I don't think we should ignore the opportunity to thwart our relation with Lesbia itself. I, for one, would rather handle them as a friend than a foe. Anything to add, Grand Wiseman? Here is a situation with my own opinion. Anything to add, Grand Wiseman? Or your majesty, the scenes in Rurik compel us to exercise goodwill and compassion towards our neighbours. On the other hand, we must be watchful that Espia does not use its new international clout to further spread the Das Norist faith. You're right to grant Rezek Das Norist a place to practice in this country, but we must also safeguard our own beliefs. Any thoughts, Vina? I think you'll have to replay Rizia later. Tomorrow they most likely release an update that adds like 30 new decrees. He picked absolutism. Very picked reform in the beginning. Not this one, I don't think. No, well, the absolutes past that. I'm not sure if we're going absolute. I'm not sure how we're doing it exactly, but we're gonna see. 30 new decrees. That's what I was told, actually. We had someone join us and say, on YouTube, actually, left a comment saying that, oh, if you had left this like a few weeks, you'd have probably got the big update, which would have been cool. Any thoughts, Vina? Oh, we certainly don't want tensions to rise with Lesbia at this point, do we? We don't want ATO's influence to overwhelm us, either. What about using cultural exchanges and other partnerships to spread Rizia's own influence beyond our borders? I like the idea in theory, but it sounds expensive. Brilliant, Vina. Arcadia isn't the only nation capable of growing itself through soft power. I have an idea regarding this. I'll bring it up at the end of the meeting. I'd like to get the full picture of Rizia's geopolitical situation before offering my own opinion. Rizia, it's not that fleshed out yet. Certainly, Your Majesty, that's what today is for. Lorento walked to the chamber's door back wall and pulled down a map of southeastern Makopa. What shall we discuss first? We need to talk about Wellen. Of course. Leno rearranged some of the papers he was holding. Relations with our one-time allies have been turbulent at best since the Civil War. The international unpopularity of current President Victor Smolak has only complicated matters. Rizia wouldn't be where we are today without Wellen. We can't abandon our partnership. Not a good look for us to remain linked to them. When returned as promised, after that I'm happy to cut ties. The return is scheduled for the end of 1952, Your Majesty. Wellen's access to Zil's lands and resources helped bring it out of recession after the war. Smolak will have difficulty letting go of such a valuable asset. You did do 3 wars, like back-to-back Storm. It was rough. Treaty. What about the people of Zil? Sure, they can't wait for them to return to Rizia. I'd like diplomatically with President Smolak. We can sweeten the deal if necessary. I can appease him until we get Zil back. So his current focus is on eradicating terrorism by the Bloods, Golkondist ethnic group native to Wellen and Sordland. He's been very vocal about his desire for cooperation on that front. Not all Bloods are terrorists, Your Grace. Mr. Smolak is particularly interested in a separatist group known as the Bloodish Freedom Front, who have been rumoured to be receiving support from none other than Rumberg. I would advise against getting involved with the BFF, but Wellen's isolation within Makopa could be a strategic advantage on our end. For all his posturing, I believe Victor Smolak truly wants Rizia as an ally. Can we count on him to honour the terms of the treaty? Smolak is not as weak as he seems. It will take a great deal of time and effort before our firepower matches his. He may act bold. Currently, their foreign ministry is working in close cooperation with us, and President Smolak promised to honour the treaty. In the meantime, any perceived aggression on our part may only give him an excuse to break it. Can the international community be relied to intervene if Smolak breaks its signed pact? Given how many countries depend on Wezek oil, either directly or indirectly, I wouldn't be so sure about that. Funding Wellen receives from United Contana may also have Smolak believing he can act with impunity. About the people of Zeal, surely they can't wait for land to be returned to Rizia. Half of our country's native Rizian population fled during the Civil War, like the Queen Mother's parents, I recall. Among those who were stubborn enough to stay, opinion is divided. We have to remember that it's been almost 25 years. Moving on, when is my next diplomatic visit to Wellen? As a matter of fact, you're slated for a trip to Zil at the end of this year, for the second to last Wezek Rizian Friendship Day. What's that? Friendship Day is a celebration that has been held in Zil each year since the treaty was signed. Since Smolak took over, he's used the occasion to trot out all the shiny new tanks Wellen's oil money, United Contana's funding, has bought him. Your presence will at the very least remind him of the occupation's temporary nature. I'll talk to him, maybe we can come up to a productive agreement. An admirable impulse, but this is unfortunately only a ceremony, not a diplomatic talk. For now, I propose we move on with our briefing. Algeria. Oh, I'll ask Sordland. I wonder if we can ask that later. Isn't the Pales the topic of today? just about to bring up the Grand Duchy. Your father unfortunate passing has given us a chance for a fresh start with Duke Reinhardt. I heard he reached out to you some years ago. Perhaps that connection can be built upon. I look forward to it. Our nations have been estranged for too long. I agree. I myself advise your father to speak with the new Duke of Pales. To no avail, of course. Compared to his brother Sordland, Axel Reinhardt seems far more amenable to a war between our countries. He wasn't even born when Rizia and Pales were fighting, and I suspect he is beginning to see the disadvantages of staying connected to Lesbia. What about the current relationship between Pales and Lesbia? The Grand Duchy has been heavily dependent on the Republic of Lesbia since the 1920s, Your Majesty. Our northern neighbour has taken extensive advantage of the natural gas reserves of the southern Pelasian coast. Lesbia has also relocated a number of its major corporations to Pales in exchange for extremely generous tax breaks. In addition to resulting income, Pales has access to Lesbian technology and military equipment, which at the moment surpasses our own. Pales has Rizian-speaking population, right? How influential are they? They are a minority, but a vocal one. They believe in the preservation of the Rizian language, but they still consider themselves Malaysian at heart. Duke Nyolam's proposed Rizian ban was a bridge too far for them. They seem to heavily favour his brother. I'll check the royal decrees. I'll check them after. I can't pull them up now. I've not done too much. Where's land in all this? Does Pales have any relationship with the Republic? Not a friendly one. Most Vlagish Pelesians were and still are vehemently against their ancestral homelands turned to socialism. In turn, the Republic of Viceland has nothing to do with its former colonies since Reinhardt's decision to seek protection from Lesbia. Back in the 1920s, there were a few attempts at marshalling support for the Vaxlandian socialist revolution in the Grand Duchy, none of which bore fruit. I'm beginning to get a good grasp of the situation there. Are you leaning towards any particular diplomatic strategy regarding Pales, Your Majesty? As a revision say, it's too late to start one over there now. We should play with sympathies as a Rizian speaking segment of the population, sway them over to our side. I'm open to collides with Pales before, but Lesbia's membership might make it more complicated. But I know it all towards Pales, you're right, that close relationship would be advantageous. I did do a few things you recommended, Storm. I'll check it after, but I believe I did sign some of them. Like the tax one, I'm almost certain I signed. Vaxlandian Socialist Revolution, you say, is a too late start. One over there now. We'll do this. Sympathies of Rizian speaking remembrance, sway them to our side. That could prove useful, Your Majesty, especially in the face of Lesbia's ATO membership. Shall I continue? Sympathies of the former Empire of Rizia. Did you want to discuss Morella or Dirdia? Morella. We've already heard about their new left-wing ruling coalition, correct? I have. Yeah, I have, sure. Hugo grimaced. This new Prime Minister, Comrade Alma Sultana, worries me. Let's relate to you enough of a threat without the millennivists knocking at our back door. You know, there was far worse than life than millennivism. There's another real menace. Both occasion liberals and millennials hate everything we stand for. Neither ideology respects the sovereignty of a monarch. I see them as two sides of one coin. In this case, it's Vaxlandian socialism we ought to be worried about, not millennivism. Morella doesn't stand a chance of entering the Contana Security Pact, not with its current levels of poverty. But there are rumours that Prime Minister Sultana has been arranging meetings with Vaxlandian Councillor Emmerich Hegel. Uh-oh. And how are our relations with Vaxland at the moment? Neutral at best, Your Majesty. As we all know, House Porus has historic ties to the late Vargos Empire, but Chancellor Hegel isn't exactly brimming with nostalgia for that era. So far, our trade relationship with Morella has not been affected, nor our partnership with the International Trade Zone. But Morella and Vaxland teaming up in that area could potentially be more of a concern than Lesbia. As for Morella's neighbour Dirdia, our relations with them have become more strained since the country's conversion to a theocracy. However, we still maintain a number of cooperative agreements, including our acceptance of Dirdian migrants as labour hands. I must say that their supreme wiseman, Jorga Asmal, did not approve of our ban of Golcondas pilgrims to Rizian holy sites. Did I do that? Oh, that was something they did beforehand. Yes, His Majesty and I discussed the ban prior to our ceremony in Plavo. No reservation about myself. Oh no, to be fair, I'd probably let them in. If the ban is Harmonation and Dirdia, perhaps should be reconsidered. We didn't destroy me as unfair. The Golcondas are Ruis, as you or as I, they deserve the right to worship. Your openness to different beliefs, even Dasnurity, is admirable, Your Majesty, but may lead to conflicts. They may have strayed, gentlemen, but Golcondas and Dasnuris are both our brethren. I'm merely worried that growing numbers of Golcondas visitors at holy sites like Plavo and the rather physical interpretation of our religion were alienating the true Ruist believers. I will point out that the stance on Dirdy and Golcondas is far gentler than Morella's. Yes, Morella hasn't allowed Dirdians of any kind into the country since the Meftium invasion of 1915, though Dirdians most certainly have tried. Maybe. Oh, I can't tell if that's is that a thing in this game? Like, the people kick off with it? I imagine they probably do. Some advise Morella, those Golcondas lunatics should stay in their own country, had Dirty migrants reach Rizia. Mostly by boat across the Gulf of Mordian, though some are trafficked across the border and others fight their way in. Say what you will about Dirdian beliefs, you can't argue with their weaponry. It's part of their warrior culture, Duchess. Their practice is centered on martial discipline and physical strength. Frankly, they scare me. Can Dirty be bargained with? Everyone can be bargained with, Your Majesty. Like it just more like Mr. Asmal may look for a way to end his country's geopolitical isolation. I should mention that the Dirdians' isolation is partially self-imposed. They're suspicious of nations that do not share their particular values. Not everything is about meta numbers. That's fair. Among other things, these include a hardline stance on drugs and alcohol. I won't be adapting Rizia's policies to suit Dirdian's wishes. Are Rizia's current drug laws strict enough for their liking? Yes, barely. If we wish to pursue diplomatic ties with Dirdia, we should refrain from relaxing them. I agree. That allowing more drugs into the country is a bad idea. We shouldn't let Golcondas whims dictate our entire policy. What's going on in Sordland? Hey! Now that the colonel has retired, you mean? His successor is called Edward Alfonso. From everything I've heard, he's Sol's exact opposite. In what way? I think sweeping privatization and tax cuts. Sol is forced out of power. More women in prominent positions, although he has yet to pass any kind of liberatory reforms like Liza did. Speaking of Liza, she's the one who first opened trade negotiations with Sordland back when it was still a kingdom. The Sol's disdain for the monarchy kept us from continuing down that path. Make him legal again, but tax in exchange. The Alfonso administration, meanwhile, has no shirts qualms about royalty. In fact, his new development minister, Gus Manger, has already had personal business dealings with Rizia. Our friend Mr. Montoro of Rizian Royal Gold has been making overtures to the Sordish oligarchy, it seems. Birds of crassly ostentatious plumage flock together. Ostentatious plumage flock together. I know your tone, Hugo. Rusty and the Sordish oligarchs are self-made men. I respect that. What the Sordland want from us? Alfonso's ministers, Sozol's wealthy commoners making plans behind our back. Doesn't smell good. Like, we'd be like the common people. It would be a feat to repair our ties with Sordland. Perhaps the glory days of Liza are not lost at all. I'll contact you once Alfonso has agreed on a date for his visit. That's everything, isn't it, Mr. Squiggle? Lorenzo turned away from the map towards me. There's one country we haven't discussed. Rumburg. Are my in-laws? I've always supposed to reach the turn on me after Lena died, and we should stay allies with us. Yes, how are my in-laws? Our allies couldn't be interested in our country are doing fine from what we're seeing. Miss Werner already mentioned the large amounts of gold we export to the country through their strategic port of Bryn. We also have a deal allowing Rumburg ships priority access to our ports in Port Drazen and Monkers. We are, in essence, their gateway to the Antatian Sea. Militarily speaking, the alliance doesn't amount to much. Rumburg will support us in arms in case of a war, but neither of our countries is officially obligated to come together as aid. Things like Rumburg interfering in Welland. Nothing's been proven, Your Majesty, but we're fairly sure Rumburg has been arming Bludish separatists from the country's northeast. The same might be happening across the border in Sordland. Smart computers will get further with these kinds of destabilization efforts than the outright hostility. So our alliance with Rumburg is a liability when it comes to American and Sordland. He says she wouldn't try the same shenanigans with us. I don't think she would. You've nothing to gain from it, Your Majesty. We're already giving Rumberg nearly everything it wants. Except natural gas. If we do end up with a stake in a new gas field, I expect our Excellency will soon come calling. Conscious of there's plenty of potential uses for that gas. You're getting ahead of yourself. Ownership of that field hasn't even been decided yet. Gas field hasn't even been decided yet. But you see how important it is for that decision to be made in Rizia's favour. I remind the Council of our private conversation regarding ATO and the necessity of strengthening our bond with their monarchies, especially Rumberg. Fortunately, we have living evidence of the bond right here at the table. All eyes turned to Vina. She looked up from the notes she'd been taking. Yes, don't worry. Aunt B still dotes on me, unlike the daughter she never had. Good. See to it that you remain in Her Excellency's good graces. Being not diplomat at all. Queen's still fond of me as well. She knows how much I love my Lena. Queen's always been her affection. She's aware of my love I hold for Lena. A love that transcends even her passing. Maybe it's time we both arrange a visit with Aunt B. Hugo glanced at the clock. Before we conclude, there's still a matter of His Majesty's stance on Lesbia's ATO membership. Do you have any further thoughts on it? Councillors looked at me in expectation. Hugo's right idea, aligning more closely with Rumberg and Grace, will protect from Arcadia's growing sphere of influence. By Lena's suggestion, sealing new economic pacts with other countries will help us become regional powers and right. We agree with Lucia that we cannot look weak in Lesbia and Viceland's eyes. Our military intelligence will be a number one focus. Right now, you're right. Yehovah's. Oh wait. No, Lorenzo, you're right in that it should behoove us to go for this lesbian ATO instead of making enemies of them. Or you all have very good ideas. I'll consider a combination of these approaches. Ooh, I like that one. Again, I know you might not agree with it. I'm doing that one. Hugo nodded. Very good, Your Majesty. One more proposition before we adjourn. I was quite fond of Princess' suggestion before that we increase Rizian soft power outside of our borders. We've also spoken of the need to stoke pro-Rizian sympathies in both Zil and Pales. I would therefore suggest funding branches of the Ariana Taurus Association in both of these regions. What does the ATA do? It's a government-funded organisation that promotes Rizian culture abroad. It's currently active in Rumberg and a few other Grace members. Its satellite organise Rizian language classes, concerts, art exhibitions, traditional festivals. I myself volunteered with the ATA as an ambassador for a time. I can vouch for its integrity. How do you think it would be helpful in Zeal? If I may, Your Majesty, there are children Vina's age in Zil who have spent their whole lives believing they're Wezek. He shuddered quietly. If the handover goes as planned, it will need to remind the Zil citizens of their true heritage, and if not, we'll need as many Rizian sympathizers on the inside as we can get. Why would there be a need for impales? Now that Lesbia is in the ATO, I can envision them trying to introduce Arcadian values into Pales. A greater Rizian presence will help counter that. I know Duke Reinhardt tolerates and even encourages the Rizian language in Pales, but he will not see this as a threat. Program, do we have the budget for it? I can see use for such a program, but do we have the budget? We do. Expanding ATA in both Zeal and Pales will be costly indeed. I like the idea. It could even give us an edge in upcoming trade deals, but I would advise you to choose between the two regions. I do have a good amount of money, 6, if not loads. Ooh. What's the thoughts? What's the thoughts, my friends? Zil, Pales, or both? Because obviously if we take them over, I guess it's better to have people there sympathizing with us. I will say, though, if I do get the option of just taking it over without attacking them, I would do that. But I'm ready. I'm ready. Nope. Oh, you don't think it's good? Like, neither. Number 1. Oh, you think Zil? If you want to war Pales, don't fund it. So what, would Zil still be a good one since Zil is going to come back to us? That's a good point. If I do go to war with them, it would kind of ruin the bringing them to our side and then bringing them in. I do want to go to war with Pales. I just want to see the war mechanic. So even if I've got to be a bit rude to get there, I'll see what I can do. Fund the Zul one. No, I'll go with you on that one, Lord. Let's fund the Zul one. Via AN. Okay. I see, then let's fund a branch of the Ariana Taurus Association in Zil. Consider it done, Your Majesty. Thank you, you'll enter if you was cancelled. Thank you for your idea. That's all for today. I'm starting to lose my focus. Good work today, everyone. I think it's time we adjourned. Excellent idea, Your Majesty. Thanks for listening, everyone. I do hope I haven't been too much of a bore. All Mr. Scribbers appreciate your expertise. Now you mentioned it, try to make that session a little more concise. 1 minute longer and you would have had the call in Palace medical staff to bring out of a coma. Share your expertise. Poison gas and drugged up soldiers. No, God. War crimes. Anytime, Your Majesty. He rolled the map back and collected his belongings. The water out of the chamber, glad to be done for the day. Budget went down, ATO. Cool. Do I have to click on all of these? Oh my god. Oh, situations have changed. Good living standards. I like it. Regional tourist destination. Unequal treatment of foreigners. Ah, ATA operations active in Zil. We've had some news. Rufus, Grag's Royal Gossip. All season begins. Non-aligned movement in groups in AN group grows. Confederacy of Vendonism faces democratic forces. Royal decrees enacted. Sovereign transition and clemency. Launch of anti-narcotics campaign. Raise base income tax. Housing for poor. Neutralization process for foreigners. Medium initial global energy sale. Oh, God. Oh, wow, everyone's against Gold Clondis blasphemy law. Religious sites, centuries of Plavo, just like to be welcomed by Dirty and the Gold Clondis dwelling in Rizia. Can you do all three? Oh God, that scares me. Military planes from international. Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting that you can just buy the military ship and sell them potentially if we had a massive production, right? Focus port and naval yard expansion. Wow, submarine per turn is crazy. But we need energy, right? We are very low on energy. So would it be worth doing something early on to get some energy? If that makes sense. Because obviously everything we want to build needs energy. And obviously there's a few things we could do. There's a hydroelectric dam, which would take 4 turns and give us free energy. 5 budget. Then there's... Oh, you don't really spend energy. Oh, really? See, but look, the commercial district takes it. What else takes it? I think it's some of the... Oh, wait, it's down at the bottom. It's like the, like tank factory takes energy, right? Yeah. That's why I'm unsure. That's why I'm unsure. I say make the dam and expand the gas field. Any particular order? Because I guess we could use a bit more budget now, but it might be good. That's 2 turns to complete. And then the hydroelectric? Because that's 4 turns. I might as well get this one ready first. I know obviously that one takes a bit longer. But we can invest in a few more things. Double energy unless you definitely need it. You can sell energy to others or use it for army. Okay. Okay. I think I'll expand the gas field because that'll take 2 turns. And then, or 3 turns, sorry, and give us 2 energy. And it'll be nice. It costs a bit less, lose a bit of authority, but I'm good with that. Let's sign that. Expansion is clears offshore gas field. Then this one, what else could we do? What would be good? Sensitive protection laws. Or stable movement. There's build spells. Industry park, excavation types, ancient resident city, build military equipment factory, that could be good. And then the hospital and the uni. Open the oil market if you have a lot of authority. Oh, really? Makes sense. Makes sense. Residence on work permit for migrants. Permanent work permit for labour hand. Blasphemy law. Build energy storage facilities. What's that? Embarrass the boss energy security and make a stable supply. Additionally, it would lower upkeep costs by minimizing energy wastage and enhancing overall systems. What does this actually do? This will restore surplus energy generated during peak production period, preventing shortages during high demand. The decree will manage energy infrastructure, promote efficient resource use, and reduce reliance on energy curtailment and capacity. I genuinely don't know the benefit. Obviously, I understand the real benefits of that. I don't understand the in-game benefits of that. Public sea transportation subsidies. Remove income tax. No. Tax credit for businesses. Welfare privatization. No. Non-risk religious tax. Ah, this is the one you wanted me to sign, wasn't it? This is the one you wanted me to sign, isn't it, Storm? Energy storage should increase your energy cap. Oh, that makes so much more sense. Yeah. Why didn't I think of that? Of course, I forget there's an actual number to these. 15 is not a lot. Fine. 15, 25, 25. These are all online. Some agree with it though. Storm, am I right in saying this was the one I should use? And that it increases money, but I need to do things for them first, right? What did I do? I think I gave them something. Yee. But what did I need to do first? He says it. It's a sovereign transition. No, wait, that wasn't it. There's something I did to make them happy. Oh, you build their church. That's enough. So, they have their church. Do I need to wait for the church to be built? Or can I just pass this now? Also, should I just wait authority-wise till next turn, or should I be okay? Oh, it's already built. Okay. So should I do it now and put myself down to 1 authority, or should I wait for the next turn? Or should I... You know what? I can do this right at the end of the turn, right? It doesn't take time. It's just automatic. So I'll wait till before it says continue. I'll just sign it. Happy with that? Lord, are you happy? Ah, fine it. Sure. I feel bad. I wouldn't... If I was doing my happy playthrough, like how I'd want to play, I wouldn't be mean to anyone. I wouldn't do that. But this is not that playthrough. I want to be mean in this one. Be dangerous. Numerous tribute to be issued by Crown. King envisions greater gas exports as gross field. I didn't have enough to build the dam, I don't think. On top. I've done the gas field. Already. Just don't think I'd have enough to do the second one at the same time. Yeah, hydroelectric dam is the authority in the budget I wouldn't have. But next turn I should have way more than enough. I'll have 6 authority more, 7 budget more, so that pays for that, and then part of something else, which is nice. Let's read some reports. Well, next turn. The more you sign the tax, the more you benefit. I know, so I did the gas fields this turn though. I did do the gas fields this turn. So the energy will do, the other one will do next turn. Swedish delegation to visit Port Drazen. That's cool. Can't wait to see Admiral Alfonso. Excavation promises touristic and cultural renaissance. Rifle production halted in false data after accident. Ooh, that's not good. Include Ellen in the trade talks. Elena. Untouchable benefits. Yeah, that's how most things are. That's fair enough. The Swedish delegation is expected to bring up the reopening of Swedish Rizian trade relations during their upcoming visit. While Treasury Council Lena Warner would normally be present for the Duchess's discussion, Development Minister Gus Manger has requested to speak with the King alone. Ooh. Oh, he's going to have something for us. A little in the bribe, I say. Oh. Should I bring Elena or should I keep Elena up? I naturally want to bring Elena because it feels like Gus Manger wants to offer me one of his dodgy deals. Don't always go well. Do we do it? Don't include, just make sure you make Alfonso read everything. Okay, so if I don't make Alfonso read everything. But that would probably annoy Elena, wouldn't it? But she seemed a bit edgy. You know what? I'll have her stay behind. I'll go by myself. I'm an independent king. I'll do it. Other than trade delegation. Oh, literally, jump straight into trade delegation. Federation of Anraka bolsters trade ties with Ostioke and Naliperna. Ooh. Our anti-narcotics operations are on the way. Sanctuary expansion. Anything else happening? Anti-narcotics operation. In here. Squarius gas field expansion. Exciting times. Exciting times. Visits from Sordland trade delegation. My royal yacht, the Rizian, Rizania, smoothly cleaved through the waters of the Zapana River Delta. Bloody happy with the narcotics campaign. Nice. I stood on the deck next to our old Alfonso, president of Sordland. After hours of diplomatic formalities in Palace Resna, the sea breeze felt amazing. Alfonso removed his jacket and looked up admiringly at the wide cable bridge that connected Port Drazen's two halves. I'm tired it's late. Thank you so much for being here, Lord. I know you said you were here to head off at 9. So thank you, my friend, for being here. If you wanted to catch any other parts of this, obviously it'll be on YouTube. Just thank you for being here, Lord. And thank you for being around earlier, my friend. I will catch you later. What a great idea this boat tour was. It would have been a pity to spend our entire visit trapped in a stuffy old palace. You have the negotiating with Welland demand everything and offer nothing. Fair enough. He rushed to correct himself. A beautiful, elegant old palace, Your Majesty. The ship's horn let out a blast as we passed beneath the bridge. Show Alfonso the old town, new town, old town, new town. I'll show him the old town. He said old. I led the Swedish presence to the southern side of the deck for a better view of Old Town. The late afternoon sun perfectly illuminated the spire of Zilba's Ark Sanctuary. Terrific, the way you've preserved these historic buildings, but sometimes the past can be a trap. I'm happy your country finally has a president who understands that. You owe a lot to Colonel Sol. It's high time Sordland moved on. The Colonel was no great fan of monarchies, as you'll recall. Me, I'm more flexible. As such an anti-monarchist, he behaved an awful lot like a king. The only difference between your republic and our monarchy is the Rizian people are happier. Nor was my father keen on democracy. You and I have much in common. Democracies with different politics can still find common ground. Nor was my father keen on democracy. You and I have much in common. For an anti-monarchist, he behaved an awful lot like a king. By the end, maybe I wish we'd parted ways on better terms. I know one man who's happy for a clean break, though. Gus Manger emerged from the ship's cabin, clutching a bottle and grimming triumphantly. Oh, did he have it? I tried Cantuavo exactly once from a Rizian chef in Holsword who smuggled it over in his steamer trunk. I haven't stopped thinking about it ever since. He turned to me apologetically. A mutual friend, Rossello, mentioned your yacht had an excellent wine cellar, and I, well, couldn't help myself. This Montour is not my friend. Rusty. See if he didn't go rooting around my ship's quarters. Rusty has certainly sampled enough wine to know what he's talking about. Remember like Cantora, I'd hate to think of this wall they must be serving in Sordland. Man of exquisite taste. I like you already. Toast to exquisite taste then. Butler? Pavel smoothly appeared from behind us with 3 glasses. Gus handed him the bottle. Excellent choice, Miss Manger. Please allow me. He filled the glasses and handed one to each of us. This should taste of cherry and black pepper, with a faint hint of leather. Raise our glasses. Transistors to new beginners. Ah, I like that. A Morgna West Core. I'll do that. I'll do that. A Morgna West Core. 2 Swordish men smiled politely. Don't usually toast with that phrase, but nice pronunciation. Yes, well done. That turn, sister. We drank. Gus sighed with pure pleasure. Alfonso's expression bordered on disbelief. All apologies to Geralt of Ribery, but this is in fact the best wine I've ever tasted. I told you, I know certain Swordish movers and shakers who'd kill to have access to a beverage of this caliber. Which brings me to the deal I suggested. Ah yes, the free trade of Rizian wine for Swordish whiskey. As good a way as any to get our relations flowing again, if you'll pardon the pun. Remember what I told you, make sure our Rapunzel reads everything. I will do. I will do. Soldier's whiskey. I'll have to taste it first. I will do. I'll make sure he reads everything. 2. Oh, Soldier's whiskey. I'd have to drink it. I'd have to taste it first. I like thinking of it. I was saving this until after dinner. But here you go. He opened his attache and pulled out a bottle of Earlery Maroon, 30-year-old. I'll turn to be the connoisseur, Your Majesty. Butler, 3 tumblers, no ice. Double approach with 3 glasses. Those people aren't getting an inferior. Just a small sip for me to make sure people aren't getting an inferior product. If I don't know any better, I'll tell you two are trying to get me drunk. I mean, I think we've got a good laugh going on with them at the moment. It's a good vibe. I don't know about you trying to get me drunk. One does not merely drunk on Earlery Manson 30-year-old. One floats. Double orders each a small amount of the amber-coloured liquid. I'll do the toast this time. How do you people say it? Proso. We drank, the flavour rushed over my tongue. Wood smoke and forest moss tapering off a sweet, silky smooth finish. It's heavenly, disgusting what anyone drink. Tastes like trees. It's great, but I better not have any more. What's your thought, Storm? Heavenly? One. Yeah, I think it's nice. It's heavenly. Like tasting the very soul of Earlery itself. Since your treasury crone isn't here to put a damper on proceedings, should we get straight to it? You're in Rizia, Mr. Manger. We treat women like equals here. Don't call Miss Warner a crone. She's one of my most capable counsellors. Yes, let's work out between us men. No wet blanket necessary. Yes, let's. Obviously, I want to defend her, but I don't want to ruin the mood again. I'm going to go 1 again. You think that's a good call? 1 again? I'm happy. I'm just going to do 1. I need to be more independent. This is the run. I need to be more independent. Alonso reopened his briefcase. And took out some paperwork. Obviously, I'm going to ask you, but I'm like, I don't need to ask you over every little thing I remember. But obviously, those little things like eating a salad in some cases could ruin the game. It's all boilerplate, really. The governments of Rizia and Sordland, recognizing the importance of promoting economic growth and cooperation and desiring to enhance their mutual interests, conducting in a manner that is consistent with their respective domestic laws and regulations. No need to go on. Keep listening. He went on. The parties shall agree to cooperate in the development and implementation of sanitary measures. Keep listening. He went on. Elimination of tariffs to be completed within 6 months from the entry into force. Keep listening. Ensuring that respective customs procedures and other trade-related measures are transparent, efficient, and predictable. Keep listening. An equal amount of 100 tons of wine and 50 barrels of whiskey per year, subject to availability. 100 tons of wine and 50 barrels of whiskey per year. That sounds like... Wait. Yes. For equal amounts, demand for Rizian wine in Sordland is far higher than that for Swordish whiskey in Rizia. Good catch. We can change that section if you like. Quantity subject to market demand. Demand in Rizia will skyrocket once Earlery Maroon hits the market. Trust me. So is it a trade, Your Majesty? They wanted to scam me. Definitely expect to see our bars having Sordid whiskey next year. Yeah, sure. Reason why you're here. No wine is far superior to a whiskey. That wouldn't be fair to us. Sorry. They did want to scam us. So if we sign it now, it's fine, right? So long as we've seen that, we're good. So definitely expect to see our bars having Sordid whiskey next year. I think 1's a good. Yeah. Now it's done. Let's do it. Definitely expect to see our bars. To be honest, I've learned from my mistakes. Every law or pass through here, I'm reading it fully. No, I want to hear it fully, please. Pull out that 50-page document and read it word by word. Excellent, Your Majesty. Another reason for me to return to this gem of a country. The yacht lingered at the mouth of the Zana Delta as the sun lowered in the sky, turning the water from turquoise to gold. As much as Sordland's most valued citizens would appreciate your wine, we believe there's something else they'd find even more stunning. Just at its surroundings, then down at the short-sleeved shirt he was wearing. Have you thought about Rizia's untapped tourism potential, Your Majesty? Ooh! I think we're already going down a tourist type of route. I guess that's a way you could go, right? Peaceful tourism, bring people in. I don't know if they'd want to go to a country at war. I'm afraid our conflicts with our neighbours would scare off visitors. Still, Your Majesty? I know that for a long time, international tourists stayed away from Valencris coast because of delicate situation of pales. It's good either way, okay. Pronounce the last word, pales. Do not correct him. Very for speaking up. My point is that it might finally be time to bring your undeveloped shores to life. I took the liberty of hiring a designer to draw this up. He reached inside his jacket pocket and pulled out a sheet of paper with a sketch on it. Oh, I recognised the beach it depicted. It was a picturesque stretch of sand in Monkeys, not far from the palace where I'd grown up. Right on the coastline, the designer had placed a sprawling complex with a swimming pool and tennis courts. On it was a sign, Quarantine Resort Valencris. Us tourists would never stand for that. I'm not bringing sort of money to Rizia. This is a private pier. Oh, so agree with this for now? Like, should I just go along with it, would you say? Or is that a bad idea, Storm? Do you think? And what do they want out of this? What do they want? It's clearly not a hotel, unless they want to own part of the venture. Oh, my neck. Getting old. Don't get old. I'm just trying to stretch out. Astoros will never stand for this. Let's make a private pier. I'd really like that. It's cheeky. The senior. Would that be the senior or junior Quarantine? That'd be a senior or junior Quarantine. I'm just going to try. You've done your research, I see. This is Marcel's initiative, along with certain other members of the Lothberg group. Our partners are considering significant investment along the Valencris coast. If all went well, the Quarantine Resort would only be the first step. Alfonso swallowed the last drops of whiskey around in his glass. I'm aware of how your nobles see Swordish oligarchs. I'm also aware that their world-renowned riches have diminished with each successive generation. Change is not nearly inevitable, Your Majesty. It's the only way to preserve the lifestyle to which you're all so accustomed. Your grandmother understood that. Liza wouldn't want a bunch of fat, sunburned Bulgarians blocking her ocean views, no offence. I don't see Sordland's help stay wealthy. I'm the king, the nobles have no choice but to acquiesce. Whilst they're mispresent, my relatives could use a good shock to the system. So that's a yes on the proposal. Yes, I'm going to find designer that's Gordy. Resort deal. Well, but I'd rather explore other avenues. Oh, what's the opinion, Storm? Take the get the oh, I don't know if that was a reply to this. Yeah, you can agree it's good either way. So just take the resort, do you think? I don't know if that was a reply to that or the reply to the other one. So what's the thought, Storm? Should I take this grand opening? This well, take the invite? I'm not sure if Storm's still here, by the way. I just clicked on the top and it says no one's in. Uh-oh. I was looking for Storm's advice. I said don't give it. No, I'm not getting it. Let me find as long as the final design is less gaudy. I'll do it. Yes, as long as the final design is less gaudy. I'll pass that on to our partners. We'll also rub his hands together. Less than an hour, we've accomplished more for our countries than our predecessors managed in 30 years. I say that calls for a celebration. Butler, another bottle. His name is Pavel Adria. Show some respect. I stand corrected, Mr. Adria, if you would be so kind. Pavel reappeared, another bottle in his hand. He shot me a grateful look as he filled our glasses. The yacht began to turn back towards Port Drazen as the sun disappeared over the horizon. Yeah, to be fair, I feel like Pavel is he's our childhood friend. He is our, driver, from the other one. He is our guy, You don't mess with him. You don't mess with us. He's our boy. The yacht began to move back towards Port Drazen as the sun disappeared over the horizon. I think we've made some good progress. Oh, Valencaris postcard. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I like that. Not much to Rizia and Blossom and tourist industry. Some of personal regards from Marcel Caronti. I like it. Roy the Crees, Rizia Armed Forces. We've got some reports. Arca Springs Leisure Club closed amid homosexual revelations. Dun dun dun. Monquist Port reports ship logjam. Okay, so we need more port. Azaros rebuked for conducting military exercise close to territorial border. Overview, policy situation. Okay, so it's like a middle ground. Okay. Sordland. Rizia signs a pair of historic deals with Sordland. Non-intervention gains momentum on Arcasia under Veru. Sordland and Rizia re-established ties. Nice. There's a commission Taurus family statues. Conversation with Vina. This one. There's been position to erect statues across the nation in honor of the grand legacy of House Taurus. The choices are varied. One not on his King's Valero, another showcasing the late king alongside his son Romus, or a grand portrayal of the entire recent Taurus lineage. That's crazy. Commission statues for Lero, commission statues for Lero and Romus. Commission the entire Taurus family. One budget and authority. What? That's crazy. Oh, -1 budget, -1. Okay, so if we do Valero, we lose budget. But if we do that, we lose 1 budget and gain authority. I'll do that. Fine. Some statues. I'm a king. What does it say? Friendly with Republic of Sordland. I like it. We're friends. Friendly. They're strong military. 37 million. 16th in the world. President Old Alfonso. Where are we ranking, by the way? 14th. Okay, so we're a little bit ahead of them, but we're good. We're on good terms. We're on good terms. Obviously, Rumburg. We are, I imagine, higher relationship. Yeah, we're friendly. Overwhelming military. 121 million. That's a huge nation. Lesbia. I want to see they're 5th in GDP, though. Wow. 79 million. What are we again? In Rizia? Oh, by accident. We are... I don't know what the population of Rizia is. I don't think it tells me. Country overview. There we go. No, that's not it. Codex entry. No, it doesn't really tell me, sadly. That's fine. I guess we can affect it, right? Let's do the next bit. Conversation with Vina. It was low tide. The waves of the Antatian Sea lapped at the sand below the cliffs of Monkiz. The trail was carved into cliffside, just wide enough for a single horse. Vina picked up speed as she guided her mare, Lizzie, around a sharp curve. Ask yourself faster, remember what I taught you. That feels like a disaster. Faster, remember what I taught you. She glanced back at me with a grin and gave the horse a swift kick in the side as a spurred boot. Meet you at the beach. I watched her fly down the trail. She'd thrown herself into horseback riding after Lena died. We kept a few horses in Port Drazen as well, but Lizzie was a favourite. I followed her at a leisurely pace, taking time to gaze back up the hill at Palace Monkiz. With Hubertus Taurus governing the provision from his own estate, I was free to visit my old home of its private beach any time I liked. At the bottom of the trail was a sheltered cove where Pavel had laid out a picnic lunch. I dismounted and sat down next to Vina. You really didn't have to come back to Monkiz with me, Father. I wanted to. Council meetings don't exactly count as quality time together. Go for the break is too hectic at Port Drazen before the Swedish invasion begins. I wanted to. Council meetings don't exactly count as quality time together. Deciding the fate of the country together, that screams quality time to me. How much we're deciding, sometimes I feel like it's out of our hands. My mother was right about a few things. Not healthy to spend too long in those chambers. Keep up that enthusiasm, will serve you well when you're older. Picked up a lobster salad sandwich from the picnic basket and nibbled at it. Solemn silence descended as we sat out at the waiters. 8 years since she died. When I'm here, it might as well have been yesterday. Tell me about it. It hurts every time we come back here. But we keep doing it anyway. Can't even dip my toes in the water. They'll all come rushing back. Looked at the sea again. Let yourself remember. Memories rushed over me. The sickening sound of the boat had made as its girders splintered, calling out for my wife over and over until my voice finally gave out. The beep of the hospital machines as I told Vina to say goodbye to her mother one last time. Was there anything I could have done to save her? In another timeline, were there 2 or 3 of us sitting on this beach instead of 2? Tears formed at the corner of my eyes. Don't resist. I started sobbing. Vina appeared at a loss of words. She tentatively put her hand on my shoulder. Sorry, Father. I didn't realise it was still so fresh for you as well. You know what will help blot out those memories? A big swordish resort right on this spot. Grief isn't a straight line, my daughter. It ebbs and flows like the tide. We've got to move forward. Lena wouldn't have wanted to stay in mourning for so long. Grief isn't a straight tide, my daughter. It ebbs and flows like the tide. It's always high tide for me. I'm not sure I even want to come up for air. She wiped her eyes. You must be feeling the same way about Mother, otherwise you would have remarried by now. 8 years and still not so much as a date. I don't love anyone else as much as I love your mother. I feel useless to try. I'll never love anyone else as much as I love your mother. Lena looked unconvinced. But if you were to meet someone, what if you had a son? Who would be your successor when you died? Rizia is to be ruled by Monica when I die. Still declare you next in line. Rizia needs a queen like you, and the rules are meant to be broken. You become my successor, of course. Those are the rules, but you're still a duchess. I declare you next in line. Rizia needs a queen like you, and the rules are meant to be broken. She smiled. Like Queen Liza said, the elder sibling should inherit the throne, no matter their sex. Thank you, Father. It means a lot to know all my preparations won't be for nothing. I was beginning to laugh at the edge of our blanket. We stood up and pulled it away from the water. Father, one more thing. I mean, moves like to Port Drazum. You have to get rid of the other horses to make room in stables. Oh, that'd be grand. But I wanted to ask something else. Grandmother is always on by I need to find the right husband. How important is it to you, really, whom I marry? Any candidates in mind? You're a Princess Vina. Your marriage status matters not only to me, but the whole country. Don't listen to that hypocrite. Grandma followed her heart, and so should you. So you won't try to marry me off like your father did to you? I might suggest a potential husband or 2. I'll never drag you to the altar. You look relieved. I'm interested in hearing these suggestions. He hopped astride Lizzie. Sorry to run, but one of the countesses from my school days has invited me for tea. There's a few estates down the beach from here. Sorry, someone you want to keep an eye on her. Try and gauge your reaction for the Swordish Resort idea, will you? I already know her family hates it, but I'll try and sway them for you. She rode away. The trip back up the palace felt a lot longer than the way down. It was dusk by the time I'd returned my horse to the stables. Now, I know Titus would have sent someone anyway. He's got to watch on everyone. Like, no need to insult the guy. I staggered through the doorway of Palace Monquiz. Exhausted, Pavel swiftly took my coat. Welcome back, Your Majesty. Where's the princess? That's for old man. She's in a friend, but wanted to thank you for lunch. Another castle. I let her go out against my better judgment. In a friend, but she wanted to thank you for the lunch. Monquiz lobster. It's never so sweet as when it's fresh out of the water. There's a warm bath waiting for you upstairs, in case you're sore from the ride. I think it's got bubbles. You read my mind. I really like that. You read my mind, Pavel. All part of the job. We went to Palace Monquiz's master bathroom, where an enormous clawfoot tub was filled to the brim with soapy eucalyptus-scented water. Undressed and got in. Grab your right arm. Grab your right arm. Grab your right arm. The temperature was perfect. The tap came at the door, so soft I thought I was imagining it at first. Your Majesty? Yes? May I come in? I forgot to leave you a towel. Uh-oh. Alright, come in. Just slowly opened and Pavel entered. A fluffy towel in his arms. He hung it on the hook of the wall. There's an identical towel on the hook next to it. Thank you. You're dismissed. Took a step closer to Tub, conscientiously keeping his eye on the walls. Actually, there's something I wanted to bring up without any guards around. I do not trust. Don't you trust the Golden Guard? Sounds serious. It might be or it might not be, I'm not sure. There was a small stool next to the tub. He moved over to it and sat with his back to me. No need for modesty. We're good friends. Oh, pardon me. Al turned around to cover her face. He spoke the next word slowly. Your Majesty, how much have you been told about your father's death? Not a lot. Do you suspect something? Well, this is what I know. Back when my dad was still alive, he showed me every single plant in the Palace Resna gardens. One of them was Mandragora, big green leaves, pretty purple flowers. I bet that's going to be important. Big green leaves, pretty purple flowers. Oh, I'm taking a picture of that. I know it. I know that's going to come back. I know it. Tell me an extract from its roots. A little bit helps you sleep. More than that can cause delirium, and a lot stops your heart. I think I see where this is going. I know it seems preposterous, but when I attended to your father on his sickbed, he didn't seem like a man suffering from heart failure. He was in complete daze, as if he didn't even recognize me. After he died, I went out to the part of the garden where my father had planted the mandragora. Nothing but a smooth patch of dirt. When was the last time you saw the plants? A few months before that, maybe. I remember the flowers blooming. I guess it's possible their disappearance had nothing to do with the king's death. Who was around the palace that night? The Queen Mother, obviously, Grand Wiseman Ignatius, Titus, and his men. Lucia Azaro was also in town, meeting with your uncle to discuss the interim security councillor position. So quite the list, not including me, of course. Someone has slipped in his supper. Pabble grimaced. I was tasting all of His Majesty food at the time, so whoever it would have to be very creative. The coroner have caught it. Mandragora is a naturally occurring substance. It may not have raised the flag. Or indeed poison, what would be the motivation? We both know His Majesty had a long list of enemies. The goal has simply been to put you on the throne. Or I'm next. No matter what, I would urge you to look out for yourself. There were only a few people King Valyria trusted by the end. If my suspicions are correct, it means one of them took advantage of that trust. All those people are still in your inner circle today. So I'm going to have to look into this further, potential investigation. Even if you're right, this isn't worth pursuing, nobody's going to murder me. I murdered you, King. They're bad, they can murder you too. I'm not seeing it, Pabble. It's too fantastical. Wait, what if you did it and you're trying to throw me off the trail? I see, I'm going to have to look into this further. Pabble nodded. Thanks for bringing it to my attention. Of course, I would never hide anything from you. You and I go too far back for that. Trust me, old friend. I always have your back. Remember, I'm still your superior. Don't try to raise above your station. Dismiss. Bimere volu. And oxit solu. Finished the phrase with a gentle smile and rose from his seat. Take my leave before your water gets too cold. See you later. Finally exited the room, leaving me to finish my bath. After a thorough soak, I dressed and headed to my study. Still some work to go over before the trip back. It's a good friend, good old Pabble. Walker Plan drives economic growth in central Makopa, augments ATO's reach, new parliamentary faction rumours in Rumburg, and saved the Arduffel coalition leads for support. Read the report. Preparation is underway for 24th annual Rizian Friendship Day. 1:45. Special surprise that President Spike is yet to disclose. Late afternoon, there will be opportunity to discuss the pending transfer of the region. Construction begins on Desnoris Mega Sanctuary. Ooh. What are the other two that I haven't seen? Save the Ardafuel campaign as support. Private audience with Golden Guard. Revolution news propaganda ban. Ooh. Let's do this. The Morella-based non-profit coalition Save the Ardafuel. An organisation campaign to raise awareness around the pollution of the Ardafuel River watershed. They claim the river is being contaminated by heavily acidic wastewater runoff from the mines in nearby the international trade zone. They're asking the trade zone stakeholders, including Rizia, for their financial support. Ooh! I just don't want to use all my money by accident. Is this Gulf of Mordia? Which one is it? Save the Arafuel? Is this a river? I'm not sure where the Arafuel is. That's my issue. Is that my wedding? Oh, that's my wife needs a ring. That's quite sad. Romus. Nice ring. Nice ring. Decisions. I want to do it, but I don't. I know we're going to be needed to put money in somewhere else. If it was next turn, maybe. But I just don't want to use all my money. I don't know if I can go negative on this one. Oh, there's a massive moth in my room. How the hell did you get in? I guess I got the window open. It's going straight for the window. I need a spider's assistance. Do it. Do it! When did you type that, Storm? Are you back, sir? Oh my god, there's a... Ugh. Where am I getting these flies from? My house is clean. Where has it come from? Where has it come from? Where is it? Where are they? Ah, do it. Make a donation. But with that, I think I'm going to call this session just for today. Read the report. Other coalitions receive substantial donations. Permit stakeholders further their campaign against pollution. Pay less for something later. Oh, okay, interesting. The coalition source gifts from Suzerain and Rizia, with only Lesbia refusing to donate to the cause. The coalition expresses gratitude to the countries that donate, as well as individual smaller donors. Oh, interesting. So thankfully, we're not the only one that refused. So Morella, I guess it's Morella, right? Interesting. Or at least it's near Morella. Interesting. I'm going to leave the other options for another night, just because I'm a little tired. Oh, actually, we'll do Malevolist ban. Books, magazines, and pamphlets from any of this country, such as Nikontan, Alexander, and Galmland, have been reaching our shores. These seemingly innocuous reading materials have potential to lead to the spread of socialist thought among the populace. Oh, what's your thought, Storm? Do we allow many of this propaganda? Do we ban all millennialist propaganda, or do we ignore it? What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts? Sorry, I'm a bit tired tonight and I want to make some food before I go to bed. I've only got an hour, so I want to get off, do that tonight. So sorry about that. Be a bit of a shorter stream, but I'll be up again. I'll do another Rizia one very, very soon, probably even tomorrow night. I was thinking of signing workers' rights, yeah. That was a personal thought, yes, of giving the workers' rights. Then ignore it. Okay, I can just ignore it. I'm good. I'm giving them workers' rights. Let's ignore it. Say, because the workers' rights one, I've already given it, to be honest. No, not yet. Where is it? It's in welfare. No, where was it? I know it's somewhere. Interesting. I thought I had it, but fair enough. But yeah, I am going to call this... If you ban, you get -1 money per turn, because commies don't trade with you, but you can even prevent protests from not giving workers rights. Okay. Interesting. But cool. I'm just going to end the recording there, but thank you so much for watching on YouTube. Short episode today, but hopefully I'll see you in the next part. Have a good one. See you then. Bye for now.